a true man, and you have developed in the way God has constructed you and built you from the dust of the ground, you know it on the inside. But as he kept beating them and beating them, he said, your name is Toby. He said, what's your name? Kunta Kinte. What's your name? Kunta Kinte. And then finally, they broke his spirit. And he said, what's your name? Toby. That's what I'm saying. So what happened was, when they took his spirit and broke his spirit, then they had to mold them into the way that the white man or the white masters wanted them to think. To serve them, to do what they tell them to do. You're going to be relearned. You call me Massa. You're going to work in the field. You're going to do this. So what happened over a period of hundreds of years, we had to create a new identity. And what we do in our communities, perfect example, in the black community, what do? One thing we do is to create an identity, the music we listen to, the clothes we wear, the cars that we drive. Everything we have to create an image around it because we have no identity. All right? We have none, so we have to build it from something. We have to build it out of material things because we have nothing else to hold on to because nothing is there because it has been stripped from us. All right? So do you understand what I'm saying here? So we're going to get further into this about feminization of the black man and how society has came in and stripped the black culture and why now the society is mainly ran by females. All right, we're going to get into this. The feminization of black men is a soft genocide in action. What did I say? I said it again. The feminization of black men is soft genocide in action. There's a direct relationship between the forced enslavement of black men into white society. We just talked about that. What I say, they have to change your thinking. They have to strip you, and then they have to re-indoctrinate you. Or they have to, what's the old word? What is the word I'm thinking of? They have to brainwash you into being something that you're not. All right? That's what happened. Take what you have, get rid of that philosophy, and indoctrinate you with something else. Same thing with a computer. You put in the computer what you want it to think, right or wrong. Same process. You have to make it think the way you want it to think. All right. The ongoing fear of black men by white men, the racist global system of white supremacy that we all live in, and the feminization of black men in Western society, the formula is very simple. What happened? And what is the process of this? Well, emasculation. All right? Emasculating the black man and bringing him down from where he is as a man and making him seem that he is less than. All right? What if we go back and look at history, look at some of the movies, how they treated the black culture. I'm not saying only blacks, but you have other races out there that was treated negatively. But we as black people, we are still being treated that way to this day. All right? Emasculation plus effeminization, take away education, take it away. Because if you don't learn, you're going only to know what has been fed into you. So if the school systems are not up to par and are not being money is not being poured into the minority neighborhoods, they're going to have an inferior education, right or wrong. They're not going to have the educational background and the substance that they need to be very high achievers, because that school system is not being supported financially by the government so they can be high achievers. Now, if you look at other communities, yes, they are getting that. Why? Because money is going into those communities. All right? So, when we look at the feminization of black men, we look at the emasculation of making them feel less than, plus effeminization, feminizing him to ways of how he should, let the women do certain things, give them the rights. And so that makes, so if you look at our society today, you can see a lot of how men have stepped back from being true men. If we go back 60, 70, 80 years, men of that time and during the greatest generation, people that was born in the late 1900s, in the early 1900s up to about 1920, 1925-ish, around those areas, those were known as the greatest generation. Those men were true men, and they passed it on to their sons. But as time went on, we got away from that because what happened was, and we'll get into this, about the women's rights and women's liberation and how all of that started to deteriorate over time. All right? Take away education equals what? Domination. I'll repeat that again. Emasculation plus effeminization, take away education equals domination. So if these three things are working in a society, then the culture is going to be dominated other than somebody of their own race, because somebody else is dictating to you how you're going to live and what you're going to do. All right? This is good. Feminization means to make a male like a female. I will say it again. Feminization means to make a male like a female. Now, we just said in Deuteronomy 22:25, a woman shall not wear anything that pertains to a man, nor shall a man put on a woman's garment. Why? Because it's an abomination to the Lord. It's an abomination because he created male and what? Female. And there's distinctions there. Excuse me. All right. They are male in the physical sense. Yes, they are. We talked about that. But no longer live, think, or act like males. They are what? Emasculated. And we're going to get into that. How is that happening? It happens through indoctrination of information and things that they're doing to dominate or to control you as men to thinking one thing, so you step away from your roles of men, so you're being effeminized or effeminization, or you're being feminized by the way you are being programmed through the media, through certain things that's done in society, and so you back away from being a man, a real man, and then you take on the attributes of being a woman. And then the woman takes control, and then they become the leaders, right or wrong. All right? Real black men and women who are alarmed over this growing sexual confusion are mostly reacting to what is being done to our sons. That's true. Because we don't understand what's happening in a society. How can we prevent our sons from falling into that trap? All right? Now, we are all prone to be conformed by our environment shapes us, right or wrong. But you still have a choice whether to conform or not. Romans 12:2 says, "Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." Right or wrong? All right? You have a choice. Now, it's still your choice. If you want to conform, then that's your choice. If not, then you be the leader that God called you to be. All right? And because of this, we are unable to stop the cycle, sexual assault on them. In the Western culture context, men fear men, not women. Is that true? In the context, that's what it is. Now, the white world fears black men for many good reasons. Now, you always hear this. Now, every time you hear of a black shooting or being killed by a cop, you hear a lot of it. Now, I'm not saying, I'm not condoning or agreeing that all black men are killed by cops for no reason. Now, if you got a gun and you out there and you get caught up like that, then you just sign your death warrant. You know, if you're gonna point a gun at a cop, they're gonna blow you away. All right, plain and simple. Nothing I can say. Now, if you're unarmed, that's a different story. That's a different story. Now, the first thing they will say is that I fear for my life, even if they don't have a gun. Why are they so fearful of black men? We are not, by nature, are violent people. The society and the things that have happened to us over time has created that animosity within us. I'm not making an excuse. Has created that animosity into some of us over a period of time, and they feel that they don't have no hope. They feel that they can't get ahead in life, so they feel the only way they can get ahead is sell drugs and do illegal stuff. That's not true. You can change your situation. Is it going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. But anything worth having, you're going to have to work hard for it. All right? You got to work for it. You can't expect somebody to give you something for nothing. All right? All right. They understand that the best way to significantly reduce the threat from us is to turn our males into females, so they make themselves into non-threats. All right? They don't want blacks to be a threat to them. So they're trying to do anything they can to suppress the masculinity of black men. Anything that they feel that's not going to be a threat, that's going to threaten their, quote unquote, their lifestyle and what they're doing and what they have control of, if they feel that's a threat, they're going to try to take it out. All right? That's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to suppress it by any means necessary. All right? Soft genocide, what is that? Hard genocide is a direct destruction, of people through mass murder. All right, we have seen many of that throughout time. You've seen the Holocaust. You've seen it with black people as well. You have many cultures that have gone through certain things of that nature. That's hard genocide. Now, soft genocide is the indirect destruction of people by influencing them. What did I say before? You have to indoctrinate them or brainwash them to thinking something other than what they know about themselves, and to thinking something other than what they already know. So you got to deprogram them and then reprogram them with something else. All right? Destruction of people by influencing their culture, influencing the culture. They have to come in and infiltrate the culture and change it around. You know, if you look in a lot of society, you can look at it. It's plain and simple. If you look in white culture society, do you see billboards in white society promoting drinking, beer, liquor, wine, cigarettes? Majority of the time, you don't see that. But in the black communities, you see a lot of that. To promote that. What are they trying to do? They're trying to influence you to saying that it's all right to drink. It's all right to do these things. Now, I'm not saying that other cultures don't drink, but they want the black society to kill themselves on the drinking and the smoking and whatever else they're doing. They promote it on these billboards. You see it all the time. You go in the black community, you go in the white community, you see it totally different. Totally different. They don't have it there. They have it. Those are called subliminal messages. The more you see it, the more it entices you to buy it. Right or wrong? That's what commercials are for. To seduce you into buying and thinking, or to influence you to think something that's not good for you, to make you think that it is good for you. All right? So you sell your soul short for something that's going to eventually destroy you. All right? All right. For instance, integration was used to destroy the revolutionary spirit of black communities. That's right. It sure was. Integration. Didn't want them to mingle with other people. Stay where you belong. Stay with your kind. All right? Stay with your kind. You know, who are you to stay with your... We are all human beings. We all bleed the same way. We all bleed red. What's the difference? But that ain't how it is. That's how the enemy uses people to try to destroy other people. All right? The black family has always been the source of strength, and that's so true. From the beginning of time, as we know it, have always been strength, because we always struggled, but we always stuck together. Through the thick and the thin, we always stuck together. All right, you go back to the civil rights movement, we stuck together. During slavery time, you go back and look at a lot of pictures, we always stuck together, regardless. We looked out for one another, right or wrong, because nobody else was going to look out for you. Huh? All right? The family supports, it teaches, and it protects. The black family was known to support one another, teach one another, each other's children. I can remember back when I was going to school and coming up in the 60s and 70s, that, you know, your neighbor would always look out for the children. Even if they weren't your children, they'll look out for you. They'll look out for each other. Well, mind the children, take care of children, look out for them. They will always take it. If you need something to eat and your parents are home, come on in. Come on and eat. Your parents are in here, you can have something to eat. They don't do that. People don't do that no more. Because, see, we dealing with selfishness now. Selfishness. That's what has destroyed us. That's what the enemy has used to separate us. As a culture, selfishness. All right? And we have destroyed ourselves because we have believed the lie. You got to always remember that the enemy is a liar and the truth is not in him. All right? Until we come to that understanding, we'll continue on the road of destroying ourselves for the what? Lack of knowledge. All right? And the family supports, it teaches, and it protects. We always protect one another. We always looked out. That was something that we did in the black community. It always had been that way. But as time went on, and as the devil, we continue to let the enemy come in, he slowly but surely started to make a little hole into something, a crater. And now, all that has deteriorated. All right? It all has deteriorated. And it holds its members accountable. We held each other accountable. That's how we did it. To efficiently attack and destroy a people, this family structure must be undone. And that's what happens. That's what's happened over the last 40, 50 years. Has been undone by society and the people that's in control of it. All right? Didn't we just say that before about domination? That's what's happening. All right? Tearing husbands from wives and children from parents during slavery. That was one part of tearing the black family away, or tearing it apart, or tearing the community apart, tearing the family apart by taking the man away. You see what I'm saying? That was one way of doing it. Removing the man from the black household with a new Jim Crow strategy. Go back and read the laws. This is history. Keeping the black man out of the house with welfare strategies that rewarded single-parent households. They're still doing it to this day. You don't need no man away. You don't need no man around. We as the community, what we'll do, since you're a single mother, we'll look out for you and your family. You don't need no man. He ain't gonna do nothing for you. But we'll give you $100 or $200 for your kids since you're a single parent, and you don't need no man. It still goes on to this day. It has not stopped. What did I say? It has to change the culture of the society. Has to change it. Now, I already said that we as a people, we struggled together, we protected one another, and we taught each other. And we were accountable to one another. But as time went on, and the devil kept infiltrating through our society, through the ones that control or wanted to control the community or the black community, what happened was they opened up the door for the enemy to come in and to pull it further and further apart. All right? Praise be to God. This is deep. Interracial dating. That broke up the black family. I ain't going to go no more with that. All right? The black woman don't treat me right. I'm going to go to a white woman. I'm going to go to this type of woman. The black woman don't treat me right. Well, what happened was when they started separating the black man from the home, what happened was he didn't feel that he was needed anymore. And the woman wanted to take control, so he felt that, well, she don't appreciate me no more, so I'll go to somebody else who does appreciate me. Still goes on to this day. Still goes on. All right? Conditioning black children using the public school system to accept the state of the sovereign of the household. Telling the kids that it's all right for you to live in a single family. It's all right that your father ain't no good. That he's a drunkard or a wine or he's a drug addict or whatever it may be. No, it's not all right. See, they teach this stuff in school to the minority kids that it's all right. No, it's not all right. That's just a trick of the enemy to deceive you. And for the black man or the black child that's growing up, they're saying he's not going to win. He's not going to benefit, so he just might as well walk away and be like everybody else. Changing the culture of the society. Feminizing them, let the women take control, and then I ain't got to be a man no more. I do what I want to do. They going to take care of them. Wow. Woo. Using welfare to reinforce dependence on the state instead of self-determination. Don't depend on others to take care of you. But see, since society has changed and the enemy has used other cultures to dominate the minority culture, then that's what happens. Instead of you coming together with the man in the house and y'all working together as a team, now society wants you to pull that family apart. Take the man out. And we got control of the black man because he's a threat to us. So we have to subdue him. We have to undo what he's thinking and let him know that by any means necessary, we're going to put him down. He's not going to control nothing. We're going to control everything that he does. All right? Infiltrating black culture to deliver Subliminal psychological attacks. I just talked about subliminal messages through the television, through the media, through the music that we listen to. All right? The clothes that we wear. The cars that we drive.